protocol observed. Ladies and gentlemen, with us here, ladies and gentlemen, the new innovations that have come up as we want to see that hay is produced. So with us here is a machine that we call a baler. A baler is one of the machines that are used to compact the selected grass, as you will see. What type of grass do I want to make for hay? And for what purpose? And for what purposes of animals am I feeding it? So this will help you compact the grass to the needed size, the needed weight, and the density. So with us is a simple tool, well, a bit complicated, but you'll get to know as we get along. This is an innovation courtesy of Professor Shud from Pennsylvania State University, and a team of 2 Kenyan brothers and 2 Ugandans. It's dynamic, keeps moving front and back. And in front of a plunger we have the place where we put the grass. You must make sure that as you're putting in the grass, you compress it left, sizable, right, and central. And it has to be. It doesn't matter whether it's a bit wet or it must be very dry the way it is. Well, as we know very well that hay must not be wet, or else it will decompose and get rotten. So yeah, it must have wilted to a recommended moisture content. Because at the end of it all, we must have a moisture content of 15% from the 80% that the fresh grass contains. So maximum is 15%? Maximum is 15%, yeah. Yes, what is doing is compressing the plunger, and onto the onto the baler we have what we call the dogs. That's DOG as the other dog. And I think from the function of the dog we know at home is for security purposes. So the dogs are also dynamic. They keep the grass away from coming back after they have been compressed to the front. So as he pushes, so we don't see the grass coming back to allow the next load to be pushed in, because of the advantage of the dog or the dogs. They are located on both sides. If the dogs were missing, then we would be seeing a heap of grass. Yeah, let me get more explanation about these dogs. Yeah, here. I see the dog just stopping here. No, it's here. So as he pushes the plunger, this goes in. Then as he pushes it back, it comes back. So to allow the grass not to flow back. Okay. Okay. Yeah. With us is a pulling rod or puller. This is for pulling the strings, because at a certain point we're going to see that we have to tie the bale as the end results for it to be intact. You can continue. In the bale we have 2 components. These are called dividing boards. They determine the front of one bale and also its back, or its posterior, or its end. And the end of one bale determines the front of the other. That is by the dividing board. That's where we're going to pass the pulling rod from the other side to make sure I pull the string to come towards where I am. As I said, at the end of the bale, part of it we have a tension rod. These determine how dense the bale with the plunger. It tends not to move. So that will be an implication that maybe the place or the area where the bale is supposed to go through is small. And so you need to adjust. You need to adjust, that's upwards, and then it comes up. So it will be widening the surface area where the bale is going through. Then also at times why we have to tighten is the bale comes out when it is very loose. It's breaking, over breaking. Then we have there will be a problem. So you have to tighten to make sure the bale is intact. So as he's doing the plunging, we are yet to see our first product of the bale. From the testimony of our brothers from Kenya, at least on a good day, when somebody has woken up from the right side of the bed, you're supposed to make between 60 and 70 bales. So you can calculate if a bale costs 10,000 shillings, then...
I'm interested in the kilograms you are baling.
Yes, the bale we are producing as for AFRISA program, or the hay technicians for this time, is 15 kilograms. The hay is about 6,000 shillings Ugandan currency, that is Kenya. As per us in Uganda, we've not yet determined the price, but I think as we come out from this place, we shall know how much we should cost our bales, because we want to be uniform as a team.
But total, 3% of the total body weight. If the animal is 100 kilograms, then 3% weight of 100 kilograms is what required of this weight.
So 3% will mean 3 kilograms.
Ladies and gentlemen, we also should appreciate the fact that the reason as to why we find this bale so vital is to the fact that compared to our old method we have been using, where you have to stand on the grass, injured, a lot of fatigue is used, you're fatigued, we find that you end up with a quality, well-packed bale for easy transportation, and then also easy transportation and also storage, because you can pack them in a very, very appropriate way compared to if it is compressed using your feet.
For purposes of giving students, would you clarify
the drying or the wilting, the drying, removing that water is uniform. You come and turn, and after turning, as it is to be hay. Even when it's still in the garden, it's considered to be hay.
You can see there are so many companies. So
After producing this hay, directly you bring it to this, I will call it a hay house, but it's called a granary. When loofing, you can use materials like papyrus over any other local thing. I've put this because I have not yet got it, but you can use any local, or if you can manage, you can use iron sheets.
Even this one.
Even this one is also good. On the ground, but you make sure that we're starting from some level, like here at least. There you can use timber. They do it a makoko. This first timber you cut on the trees. So because it's flat, and remember these are boxes, you must put them so that you keep on removing one by one.
Why must it not touch the ground?
The reason is when it touches the ground, ants or termites may affect our food. And you may ask me, you said this is a granary or this is a chitara where food is kept. Why is it open like this? When producing that hay, as Julia said, you cut your grass, wilt it. Wilting means drying something, not making it so dry, but halfway. So you put it here, and it dries by this wind. As he said, up to at least 15%. So that's why it is not enclosed. And you make sure your sheet is a bit smooth, because there are some rodents which are stubborn. So you mix it while compiling your hay, your animals will feel like drinking much water. And you know the advantage after drinking much water, you will get much milk. That's all I had. Thank you.
We look at from the stage you begin to produce up the point this thing gets to the market. There are jobs at producing that grass. I think you are going to explain to us maybe some seeds and so on.
Yeah. Yes, in front. Bye.
However, if you look at these nails, these are inputs into your making of this structure. If you look at this metal here, this is an input into making the structure. So these are jobs which are related to what we call the hay value chain.
Yeah.
So if you follow the hay value chain and you develop it properly in this area, then you see that there are other jobs which are connected to this. So you'll be promoting the hardware which is supplying this. There are ropes, so you may need to make ropes, and the ladies can make so many of these ropes. You don't need to import them. They can make this, the shelter of this that you need, this timber. So people can, if you have concentrated on how many animals you want to supply and how much milk as a district or as a region, then you can actually address the issue of jobs through different sections of the value chain. So there is inputs into the value chain and services. There are people who construct, so carpenters will be involved, and they have jobs. There are issues of production of the pasture itself in a more professional manner, where there is an input, where he was talking about putting legumes and all this kind of thing, until the point where you now get to what, to feeding and marketing this. There are even vehicles involved. So this is something for those of you who are doing when we talk about industrial value chain approach, you are looking at different jobs across.
I think this is the most important area to me, because before you make all the hay and the hay house, if you don't have this tool, then I don't think you can have that grass. So this one is called the scythe. This machine is called the scythe. S-C-Y-T-H-E. This is called a scythe. Then S-C-Y-T-H-E. Then this middle part is the snap. This wood here. Yes. So it's the one we use for cutting that grass you see there. If we didn't have this, you would not be. You wouldn't have started there. So this thing you see here with the screws is called the scythe ring. This one, for tightening this blade onto your snap or the handle. This one is imported at the moment. It's from China, but as you know, our country boys there. I visited them recently, and they can make it, can be fabricated. So don't mind. This one is locally made here. With this one, we have it here. So you can all access this. This is, I think, the cheapest technology. We have the traditional one. This is our sickle here. Most of you know this. You can also use it for cutting that grass, but this also has its disadvantages, as I'm going to be telling you. I think now this is how you use this thing. Some 3 meters here, please.
Extend behind.
Yeah, you should be
Behind.
Yeah. So I think I stand this side and show.
Extend behind.
Yeah. So when you're using this, first of all, you should stand upright. You should stand upright. That's one of its advantages vis-a-vis the sickle. Because that small thing there, you'd be, bending like this. And, some of these old men would not handle really. But with a strong men, of course, even you are done one. So now, you see, when you're using it, see, like this. See, you're cutting like this.
Can you cut?
What do they
This
call
one
that?
is too low. Now, this process is called mowing. I'm mowing now.
Don't bend. Sorry. Yeah, I shouldn't bend, you see. Should just be.
How many meters do you do?
It should be 3 meters.
But where is
Vis-a-vis the other one,
Don't we have
it just does 30 centimeters. The
grass you are
grass should
cutting.
be, depending on the type of grass that you are cutting. But if it's like close Guyana, it can be like this level. If it is for the elephant grass, even if it is this tall, but you should cut from down beneath. Don't
Why are
leave
you
some-
assuming that it is so easy to cut the grass? The way you are moving,
This one.
is it very sharp?
Yeah, it is very sharp because when you look at this edge here, you see, even I have some tools of mine there, sharpening it. After work, I again sharpen this one so that it can be efficient. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So something that is affordable to the youth because we don't have capital, most of us, for using these mechanized thing and the tractors. So we can begin slowly with this thing.
Why do we have that angle there? Because
the scythe needs to engage the grass at a certain angle. Actually, this you want to have it more or less on the ground. And if this can actually, we are thinking perhaps it can be straight too.
Okay.
But then perhaps this needs to be a little bit bent. This metal.
Yeah, because I think we have a problem with our fabricators here.
Yes.
The minute they see it, they will just go for a straight one,
Okay.
and maybe they won't mind.
Straight first, and then bend it by using steam. Because the grain of the wood now, it is not continuous, and so it creates a weakness here.
Okay.
And this is actually, we broke several of the handles because they were a bit weak over here. And also, we want wood that is a special wood, and we need to find the right wood in Uganda. In the United States, we use ash. Ash is a wood. It has a very straight grain, so it's all the way straight, so it doesn't crack that quickly. This is a tool that is really suited for fine stemmed grass, not so much for the thick, like maize or elephant grass. Those you can use panga or so. It's also in a bunch, and it is better suited to cut with panga. First, when we start using this, we need to first make sure we carry it to the field in a safe way, so we don't cut ourselves in the foot. And then when you are in the field, there may be nobody around. Those people are already too close to me, because when I go this, I need to have no person there near me. And then when we mow in the field, we usually mow with several people. So we have one person mowing, and he goes up front, he clears this area, and the grass is laid down on the side with the scythe. Then a person follows that, him or her, over there, and lays the grass down where I just mowed, so that it doesn't interfere later with me mowing. But that person cannot come too close to me, because he can cut me in the foot. But for myself, it is very safe, because I have this knife so far from myself, I will never cut myself in my foot. But I can easily cut somebody else.
Some of you come past behind them. Come.
Yes.
Is imported from United States. It is nowhere in Kampala, neither is it in Kenya nor China. So we imported a few pieces from United States, and this is what when the admin of the Luelo Industries visited us, he says they can ably do this, and actually they have done it. They should be delivering the first samples they have made any time from now. So this can be made here. This also, as he has said, we imported this from South Africa, and they also came from China. South Africa got them from China, and for us we imported from South Africa. So in Luelo Industries, they are able to do this. There is nowhere in Africa where they are made. Even in Australia, they import. Only in America and China. So the Luelo Industries have also fabricated this. But most importantly, they have already done it. This they have already done it. They are now sharpening it when I called them when you are arriving, and any time they will arrive. So they have also made this. So when UPDF makes this, we shall even be exporters of these tools in other nations. We have information that Rwanda needs them very urgently because their smallholder dairy farming is developing very fast. So people use hay and other methods of feeding. So they will be our first targets to export this. So out of this initiative, we shall not only make hay, we shall not only create jobs for our people, but we shall also have products to export.
Poppy O'Brien, a student from AFRISA. I am from Ade district, a carpenter by professional. Prior to this section, we saw how this tool was used. This is a manual baler used for making hay. This section is the brain behind all the work that we have here. From the starting section, we saw how hay is produced using this material, and we are the one who made this material here. We are the first in Uganda to produce this. Very good, and very good compared to any other that we have in Uganda. Uganda, we have these simple manual ones. As compared to this one, this is more advantageous because with this you cannot hurt yourself. You will not need your children to come and jump over your grass, hurt themselves, the next day fail to go to your garden. So this comprises of many sections. This section is the compressing section. This is where we compress our hay. These nuts here, we tighten and we loosen. If you want to put more grass, when you loosen this, when you tighten this, the hay that is getting inside is more compressed when you put it inside. So this is the compacting section. Inside here we have the dividing boards. With this we can use to define the quantity of our hay we want. If you want a very big size of hay, you can remove one, bale. If you want a very big bale, you can remove one dividing board and then have the whole of this section containing the grass and you press it. But we choose to divide it because when it's very big, it may be very heavy because our hay can be up to around 25 kilograms. This section is called the plunger. This is where the hay is put, and then you pack using this. You compress using this. As you compress, the grass goes inside. There is a simple technology inside here, Honorable. Inside here, this is called the dog nut. This is very good and very useful when we are compacting our hay. So this is a steel bar. You can use this size. You can use different sizes depending on which one you like. You can also bend this so that pulling is easier. This is used for pulling our this is pulling our string with this other portion. This is where this goes. So you get your rope from the other side, you pull it, then you bring it this other side and tie the size of hay you want. We buy the whole board. One board is used for making one baler. Yeah, then we need these other timbers. They are quite cheaper in Uganda as compared to where the technology came from, that is Kenya. Yeah, this one is pine wood. But with the handle, we may not use pine wood because it can easily break. Because the more you press, there is heavy load that is here. So when you press, you need a harder wood to compress this. So this one is mahogany, our tree from our country, Uganda.
That's right.
I want to commend the bells which come out. Yeah. My problem as a woman has always been that agricultural machinery is always very heavy, and the products are usually very heavy. But the bells which have come out are handy. A young boy can lift them, a woman can lift them, and also this. I think
so they are
a woman can also
gender sensitive.
Now here it's called a hay rack. Now as you've gone through the whole process of making hay, when it reaches the hay house, then you will start thinking about how you will feed it to your animals and how you will provide it to your animals. You can't just get a bale and you throw it anywhere. To make the consumption very easy, you're going to make this. And this one, you have to plant it in the soil. You put some concrete to make it firm. Why do we have to make this? It will make the consumption of hay very easy, and it will even help on the wastage of your pasture. In that, animals have got a tendency of wasting pasture. They eat and just litter the balance, but with this, it will pick the pasture that's enough for its consumption, and it will be satisfied. Secondly, you cannot feed hay just like this. If you have like water, you can mix it with molasses and sprinkle on top for the palatability. Molasses, these are like things made out of sugar or out of
byproducts of sugar.
Yeah, now calado.
You have to explain to us who was the grassroots.